This is Fish It, a game inside Roblox that has amassed over 200 million visits inside Roblox, a platform that has big games breaking records in only a matter of a couple days. However, Fish It is no ordinary game. It's a copy of a hit game from before inside the past called Fish. These two games are similar in multiple ways, like the pay-to-win aspects, mechanics, and other alike. However, Roblox Fish It brings something new inside the platform which I will be talking about inside this video. But before that, if you were to like and comment Fish It and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. Now that you've done that, before we talk about how Fish It copied the game Fish, let's talk about how it originated. Fish It is a brand new game inside Roblox that has managed to pop up inside the top charts of Roblox almost instantly. A surprising turn of events, especially with another game called Grow a Garden stealing multiple players inside the platform. Fish It, however, without any huge development studios backing them up like Grow a Garden, with its key development team with Big Studios, Fish It is owned and developed by the Atelier team. This team consisted of three main developers, Wilds, Talon, and Emblaze, who worked on to start up this game. But no one knew, and neither did these three developers know, that they will be creating one of the biggest games inside Roblox. Fast forward to today, Fish It at around the start of August 2025, where it had the successful release where on September 2 of 2025, they were able to amass a total of 115,000 concurrent players playing their game. A hit not just for any game, but a Roblox game entirely. For a Roblox game, it is quite rare to see success, and rather at a short amount of time. Fish It managed to do it in only a couple weeks or even days at the start of their release. With such a high amount of players playing the game, there have been very big Let's Play YouTubers with over millions of subscribers trying out their game. An example would be Robros, a YouTuber with over millions of subscribers trying this game out, catapulting it to a bigger popularity. Roblox Fish It was a massive success for developers with such a high amount of players playing the game because of Wilds. This means that they will get a ton of Robux with every new player that joins the game. Because you see, Fish It starts off with you spawning in the game where you will get a basic rod from the shop, and after you get this rod, you will cast a line inside the water and click as many times as you want to get a completely random fish depending on how much luck you have. Although, if you get lazy to do it, then of course you could opt out to turn on the auto fishing. And this is one of the most appealing factors of Fish It, is that so you can leave your laptop or computer or even your phone as long as you want it without having the struggles of disconnecting or not being able to grind and catch fish, unlike the game it copied from called Fish. However, I'll get to that later inside this video. After you finish the tutorial, however, you are free to progress on how much you'd like. You could skip certain rods, get different skins, get different boats, or pay money to get different buffs inside the game. But wait, pay to win the game? Well, yes, this is a Roblox game. Because you see, Fish It has multiple options to pay real-life money inside the game. From server luck for everyone inside the server to get better fish, a coin boost to earn more money, or other more that gives you a competitive edge against other players and particularly free-to-play players. Fish It introduced this rather early, which was a grave mistake that Fish did that made people unsatisfied. Unlike the game Fish is a game that was created with a massive studio and from one lead developer who sold it all. Fish, a similar game to Fish It, the original one was made in 2024. It was able to reach billions of players and amass 1 million players playing the game at a single moment. For such a big and successful game, some would wonder why it would even die inside the first place. However, for this case, it was true, because Fish started off with a free-to-play mechanic. A mechanic in which that was simple and comparable to games such as Grow a Garden, a familiar game to the channel. Although with the simple features, it's hard to add better and newer things into a game. And this is where Fish made a massive mistake. They added brand new rods, brand new fish, and mutations for fish, pay-to-win options which were never there before, and other more. Eventually, with so much bad decisions, the game died. No longer able to compete with the best games, and with the games such as Fish It able to beat the amount of players it has right now. Fish It came out to be better. The features inside Fish was already there, setting the foundation of how great it could become. I just can't put my finger on it, but Fish It brings something different that Fish couldn't. That Fish It had something that Fish could bring. Is it a sense of nostalgia, success, or passion? It's neither all of these, but it still spikes something for newer players. However, this still poses the question on my mind on why many players wanted to play this game, so for the first time ever, I joined and pressed the button. And like any other player, I spawned with my starter rod and casted the line into the water and got massive fish. However, one thing that stood out to me the most was that the developers added a admin event that is going on. And for those who have never experienced things called the admin events, these events are when the developers of the game give buffs to the community, which was popularized by the creators of Grow a Garden, Jandal. So of course, with the boosts right in front of my face, I then sank a good 2 hours playing this game to make the most amount of money inside this boost. And then I realized I was addicted, hooked by the developers inside the scheme of leading players inside their game, and how they were able to amass this much players to play their game. That the simplicity mixed with the complexity of the game was able to hook me. Okay, so for those 2 words, let me explain first. The game was really simple and easy to pick up. Under a matter of a couple seconds, I knew what to do from spawning and starting the game. The huge tutorial arrow was already able to guide me on how to progress within the game. However, seeing that there were different skins, rods, baubles, and which are basically baits, I was hooked. I'm telling you guys while watching this video to give it a try for yourself. Maybe you could resonate it with so much better. I'll leave the game link inside the description down below. Although after getting the 3rd rod, I felt a sense of repetitiveness. But of course, who wouldn't, because the game is categorized as an incremental simulator. However, this incremental simulator made it so that there is no right sense of progression. And in my experience with different Roblox games with subjective progression, they turn out to be the best ones to ever exist on the platform, and with Fish It being able to do that. However, as I continued fishing on the beginner area dock, I started to realize the similarities between this game and Fish. Because you see, Fish back then started out as a game, but it was tedious where Fish It did better. One thing is that Fish It was able to make things easier, as this feature right here, the auto fish button. One feature that Fish wasn't able to implement despite multiple comments inside their Discord server to implement it was an auto fish button that wasn't gonna be behind a paywall requiring you to pay $10 worth of Robux. And this was it. This game, even though it has a huge amount of paid options to entice you to pay the game real money, it's not required to do so. You could still progress in this game despite not being able to spend a single dollar. And that's something that was loved inside the game and why many players loved it. Because you didn't need to pay them as much in order to progress, unlike Fish. Although Fish It is still pay to win, Fish It copied every single aspect of Fish from the past and repurposed and repackaged every single pay to win feature they had to offer. Fish It has the same server lock feature, the same limited time cosmetics, and the same game passes that are the likes of Fish. However, one key thing that Fish It did better was that they were able to implement it easier inside the game without requiring the need of its players to get them in order to even have fun. These pay-to-win options weren't like Fish, and they were definitely not scams. Because you see, Fish was widely known for scamming its own players, and why many players left the entire game and the community as a riot towards the ruthless developers, which at the time was Do Big Studios, one of the key development teams of Grow a Garden right now. However, this led to the game's downfall eventually, as Fish added these limited time items that have limited time to procure a limited time amount of stock. Although Fish It had the same concept, they don't add more stock eventually because they weren't able to earn enough and since the demand was too high. Unlike Fish It was able to make it so that the community knew what they were getting without any hidden scams. And through this truthfulness, they were able to achieve their key goal, to steal back players. Because you see, Fish had over millions of players from before, and how it was the very few games at the time who reached 1 million concurrent players. A rather easy feat nowadays, but still daunting at its core. With over millions of players playing this game, the developers knew one thing. Wilds, the owner of the game, had this idea to create this game catered to these players, a saving grace, so that these players of Fish can return to the game they so loved and sold it to the players who missed nostalgia. At its core, Fish was an amazing game that brought simplicity and rigorous grinding together, polar opposites that rewarded two kinds of players. Many players fell in love with that, and in their hearts were looking for that again. However, the problem was that Fish was destroyed, and even despite their best efforts to revive the game, the same players who rioted over the scams they placed just seemingly vanished. Until Fish It came along. They were able to create a game so similar and so nostalgic that many players thought to try out and return to the fishing game that seemed so similar. The wonders of Fish were repackaged and remade to this game called Fish It, and that's how it got over 100 million visits. Anyways guys, this is pretty much the end of the video, and if you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and a subscribe. And for you old viewers or subscribers of my channel, no, I'm not quitting Grow a Garden content. I'll still create them and here and there. However, I'll probably shift to a broader perspective and not just keep making Grow a Garden hate content or the community itself. I guess you could say I am more of taking a more positive light towards my content. But anyways guys, until the next video, goodbye.